Watch closely as Ronnie O'Sullivan executes this incredibly precise hit and position. His aim was to strike the right side of the black ball precisely. Use the force of the collision to separate the two balls, thereby revealing the path for the red ball to score. Finally, this shot used to break through the bunker sand. Both in terms of force and trajectory, it was executed flawlessly. This is Ronnie O'Sullivan at the 2013 Champion of Champions tournament. A spectacular comeback unfolded during the match. This game was a textbook example of positioning strategy and overall tactical control. At this point, Ronnie O'Sullivan was trailing by 51 points. The highest remaining score on the table is 67 points, but the black ball was blocked from the goal path, and there's a red ball right up against the cushion. Clearly, it would be difficult for him to achieve the highest possible score in theory. Therefore, he must manage the margin of error in the score difference with extreme caution. Next, let's see how Ronnie O'Sullivan formulates his strategy.
1.
After potting the red ball, the angle of the cue ball only allowed him to position it near the low-colored balls at the top of the table. At this point, his margin for error was only 15 points. If he chooses to play the yellow ball, he will immediately lose 5 points of catching up potential. From this shot onward, Ronnie O'Sullivan had already begun laying the tactical groundwork for subsequent shots. At this point, the cue ball was angled slightly upward, presenting him with two options. After the cue ball is positioned, either leave an angle to strike the black ball, either leave an angle to hit the red ball near the pocket. In fact, he no longer has any room for adjustment. Successfully striking the red ball near the pocket is extremely difficult. So Ronnie O'Sullivan ultimately chose to prioritize potting the dead red ball. Because of the score difference at the time, he was not required to score around the black ball. Therefore, prioritizing the more challenging red balls is the more reasonable choice. The cue ball's angle remained upward and he faced two choices. He can choose to drive to the basket, use the rebound path from both cushions to scatter the red balls, or push the cue ball toward the cushion, leave room to hit the green ball and use the first cushion rebound to scatter the ball cluster. It turned out that his choice was the right one, but Ronnie O'Sullivan's margin for error was being steadily reduced. If he chooses to play around the green ball, his scoring margin will decrease by another 4 points. Most crucially in snooker matches, breaking up the ball cluster is an action fraught with uncertainty under any circumstances. Ronnie O'Sullivan's expression clearly showed he was carefully weighing his options at that moment. Ultimately, he opted to use a one-pocket rebound to strike the ball cluster. As it turned out, his choice was entirely correct. The final placement of the cue ball was nothing short of perfect. At this point, one can't help but admire Ronnie O'Sullivan's individual skill. He demonstrated exceptionally formidable comprehensive capabilities, clear tactical thinking coupled with incredible shot-making skills. He truly had the upper hand. There are still 35 points left on the table. After clearing the table, he completed a dramatic comeback with a 5-point lead. This match took place at the 2013 Champion of Champions tournament. This is also the first edition of the event since its resumption. As early as the